Hi everyone. I'm doing a video on making the most out of chaos. So I don't have to really talk a lot about chaos because we've had a lot in 2020 and there's more to come, plenty more to come. So this is about how to turn it into an asset rather than a liability, how to get the very best out of chaos, how to find the potential for creativity and change and development that lies fundamentally in every chaotic situation. So I wrote an email just recently to my particular list, and I want to just cover briefly the things that you need to embrace, things that you need to come to grips with so that you can get the very best out of chaos rather than being trapped in it or pulled down by it or drowned by it, or totally confused. Now, first I'll go into each one and then I'll go through them independently. One, you need to embrace and connect with the magic, and I'll explain that in a moment, what I mean by that, the magic in mystery. Chaos always brings mystery. Most people experience it as uncertainty. So that's the first thing. The second, the beauty in imagination. So you're looking for certain qualities in certain areas. You're looking for magic in mystery. You're looking for beauty in imagination. You're looking for creativity that's unleashed when you wonder. Because often when there's chaos, it's like, what the hell is going on? Now, I'm going to flip it a little bit for the last four. How life makes sense when you come from hope. Life makes a lot more sense when you come from hope. How compassion brings you joy. How new possibilities come from innocence. And how forgiveness allows you, this is a beautiful one, forgiveness allows you to be in the right place at the right time. And these are crucial things. When you've understood how to dance with, work with, embrace, use these, then chaos goes from being driving you nuts to becoming an incredible ally in you taking your life and the work that you're doing and everything that you're involved with to a totally new level. So let's go back through these. Mystery, put it really simply, is dealing with the unknown. And to get in contact with mystery, you need to step outside the box. You need to connect with another dimension. There's a theory in mathematics called set theory, and it says you'll never understand the set you're in until you're outside the set. In other words, whatever your comfort zone is, there's always mystery in it until you step outside your comfort zone. Now, that's what you need to do when chaos shows up in your life. Really step outside the comfort zone. Get into what you're not used to. Look at it through different eyes. Now, what's happening globally at the moment, apart from COVID and everything, but what has been happening over the last decades or two is people are traveling so much more. And they're getting involved with different countries, different cultures, different ways of seeing things. There's been a lot of repression of that, a lot of separation from that, a lot of censorship of that. But the more you get outside your comfort zone, which is what mystery demands, If you're experiencing mystery, you need to look at it differently. And that, what you discover is magic. Now, what I mean by magic is the ability to change reality quickly. Power is the ability to overcome resistance fast. Magic is the ability to change your reality fast. You know, logic enables us to change reality over time, work at it, you know, analyze it, get into it, and change things over time. But magic is rooted beyond our normal comfort zone, and particularly our mind's comfort zone. So when magic, the thing about magic is when something changes really fast that you're not expecting, that's outside your reason, your mind gets really threatened and goes, I can't keep up with this. And it's either amazed, which leads to the next couple, or it denies magic, tries to shut it down, tries to control it. And yet things change fast through power, and life changes sometimes unbelievably fast. And mystery puts you in the place where that becomes normal. When you can step outside your comfort zone, you can often see things far more clearly and change them quickly. Then you're working magic. You might call that analysis, trusting your instincts, whatever you like. But that's what true magic is. That's what, in the past, magicians were scary because things, they could just come up with answers or change a reality really quickly. And people weren't comfortable with that. Well, this is one of the things you need to be comfortable with in chaos. When it's mysterious, look for the opportunity to change, make really quick changes from a fresh perspective. Second, imagination. Imagination, a lot of people think it's just fantasizing or making up ideals, or, you know, other people have very powerful imaginations. They call them artists or great thinkers or whatever. Imagination is what brings our appreciation of beauty to us. When people look at something with a fresh imagination, they see an incredible beauty there. The two things are woven together. Imagination actually works in the subconscious and particularly the unconscious mind. And it allows for the interplay of the unconscious and the subconscious with our practical world. And it allows us to see it's not necessarily that practical, but it certainly gives us incredible things to then put our practical skills to work on. And so imagination is something that needs to be developed when chaos is around. You need to use your imagination, embrace it. If you don't believe in that, you're going to find it difficult in chaos. And it might give you a great skill at keeping things in order. Then if that's not your thing, find people who are imaginative and work with them. And look for the beauty, because often we use our imagination to scare the hell out of ourselves, to worry ourselves literally in many cases to death about what's coming next, what's going to go on. You know, what if this happened? Or we get into wild imagination, which is disconnected from this world, and it's not meant to be. It's meant to give us new ways of bringing more beauty into this world. So use your imagination to find the things that open you to beauty, not the things that close you down and make you scared. I could give you a ton of examples, but I want to keep this fairly short. if you've got questions about it, ask them below the video, and subscribe, because I'm going to go into a lot more depth with a lot of this in a subscription system, a place where you can interact with me personally if you're not only a subscriber but a paying member. But for now, I'm just opening it up and I'm putting it all out there, because it's a really good way to go for a start, and it's a damn good time to do it. Now, beauty and imagination is something I'm going to go into in a lot more depth. But if you realize the purpose of imagination is to add beauty to everything that you're doing, just like artists, then you're on the right track. And that can be in accounting, making a really elegant, beautiful accounting system. Now, the other thing is wonder and the creativity it unleashes. You see children do this. They're just wondering. In fact, the first 7 years, if you look in their eyes, particularly the first couple of years, it's just like, it's literally wonder incarnate. I wonder what this, I wonder who that, I wonder, it's just, but it unleashes immense creativity, because the first couple of years of life, it is all chaotic, because you have no sense of how to put it together. It's just all these things happening that you don't understand. And children use wonder to unleash their ability to create extraordinary understanding. They create the understanding of a whole language from scratch in a couple of years. And it doesn't matter whether it's English or Scottish or Thai or Mandarin Chinese even, which is a really tough language to learn, or Swahili or Arabic. Within a year or two, couple of years, children have have wrapped their heads around it really, and created their understanding of that through using wonder. So, ask yourself questions. I find this works really well at the moment, particularly with the people I'm teaching, or not so much teaching, but working together with in a program I've got called the Power Cauldron. And we just throw out questions and everybody answers it from their own perspective. And, people go, I wonder what you're going to come up with next. I wonder what so-and-so is going to say. I had a business partner a while ago who said, I never know which Christopher's going to turn up, right? I wonder what he's going to say. That wonder, don't squash that. That unleashes immense creativity and really throws your nervous system, your vagus nerve, your cells, your blood system, your brain, your comprehension, your emotional system, your instincts into a highly creative state, which is an incredible place to be in when you're turning chaos into creativity and creating new order out of the chaos. Now, the next one is, how do you make sense out of all of this? Well, you don't if you get terrified. You don't if you're looking gloomy or being skeptical or critical. Now, those things all have their place, but hope is how life makes sense as fast as possible. Hope is not just blindly trusting in it'll all work out the way I think it should. That's not hope. Hope is trusting life. Putting it as simple as possible. And looking for the best. Now, that doesn't mean you ignore the worst. It means you're aware of that, but what you're looking for, what you're tuning into, what you're seeking, what you're going for is the best. And then life makes sense. Otherwise, it's hoping against hope. It's worrying yourself sick. It's getting stuck in depression and finding no way out. And if hope is trust in life, you've got to find in chaos something that you can, not something that will control what's going on, but something that you can trust. People, look, that you can trust. They become a very, very high priority in chaotic situations. Parts of you that you can trust, not believe in blindly or idealistically, but what can you trust within yourself? What are your gifts and your skills? What do you bring to the table that you can put on the table and other people can rely on you for that? They can trust that in you. That's how life makes sense. Hope isn't just this thing that it's not positive thinking. It's looking for the beauty and the magic that you can use to create something that makes a lot of sense in a crazy situation. That's just putting it together on the spot. And you need to really grasp hope as a real living experience. With a lot of my clients, particularly in human design, there are things about each type in human design that are like foundational, like peace and satisfaction and success and delight. These are fundamental things that when you're, depending on your structure, the way you're designed to operate in the world, when you're in touch with one of those four, you're on the money. You're in the right place, you're being yourself. But we have these ideas of peace, if you're a manifestor, these ideas of satisfaction, if you're a generator, we've got these ideas of success, if you're a projector. And I tell them, look, go and find that experience that makes that word come alive for you in your life. And often what people think is peace and what they experience as peace are two different things. I know for myself, satisfaction is not what I thought it was. You know, I might have called it anything from joy to being, complete. But it's something that you've got to connect with, and that's the same with hope, with wonder, with your imagination, with mystery, with these words. Connect with what they mean to you, and you need to do it through experience. That's why chaos comes along. It creates an energy that you can't keep up with in your logical mind, so you have to learn through experience. You have to be able to change things fast. You have to be able to look for imagine something great coming out of this. You need to be highly creative in an open, wondrous state. You need to look for, you trust life and have hope that it'll pay that the trust that you give life, it'll pay it back. And really connect with that experience. Now, the thing that turns the whole thing, you've got those first four, but the fifth one is the one that unleashes it, that turns it into real creative, practical energy. And that's how compassion is such an incredibly powerful force. Now, I was brought up to think compassion was being nice to people. But you look at the word, it's compassion. It's the complement of, it's real passion that's common throughout everybody. You can see that no matter how crazy we do things, or how many mistakes we made, or how many successes we have, as humanity, we share a common passion. And that's a passion for life. And we're willing to experience life and make mistakes and fall flat on our face and do some really dumb, stupid things, sometimes unbelievably stubbornly, and sometimes incredibly ruthlessly, violently. And that has its own payback, its own consequences is probably a better way of putting it. But when compassion kicks in, there's the ability to forgive yourself without just overlooking all your faults, but from learning from them, and forgiving other people, to free yourself from them, or because they've learned, you give them what you would call a second chance. And the fascinating thing about that is it brings you joy. And there's nothing like joy in the midst of chaos to set you free. Now, there are movies about this. I just saw one with the Blues Brothers a couple of nights ago, and it was like really cynical. And then this light comes through the church and everyone's dancing, and he sees the light and then just starts dancing spontaneously. Well, you see that in romantic situations, you see that in inspired situations. That when you accept yourself and forgive yourself, and you tap into the passion that we all have for life, then joy just shows up. It comes flowing through you, it comes to you. And in the midst of chaos, you can do things that seem spontaneous and chaotic, but which are highly creative, which inspire people and bring them hope, which require surrendering, letting go of logic for a moment and following imagination and instinct. That seems incredibly magical. And it's a mystery. How did I do that? When you stop. Now, a lot of people seek that through getting drunk or taking certain types of drugs, or that's might give you a glimpse and it gives you a high, but there's nothing like doing it for yourself out of your own resources, finding that within yourself. And chaos comes not to drive you to drink or addictive behavior, but to help you find that joy and that compassion within yourself, so that you can create a whole new understanding, a whole new perception, a whole new order out of what's going on in your life. And that's why the times that we're in now, which are changing the whole of humanity, are so important, that we learn these skills, or discover these qualities within ourselves. Now, the sixth one is finding new possibilities, and that comes from innocence. Now, innocence isn't just, being free of guilt. Within. Since innocence, it's like the sense, the inner sense of trusting not just life, like hope, but trusting ourselves. Realizing that loving ourselves makes our lives work. And going that no matter what my theories, beliefs, how many years I've studied and grown as a person, how little I know because I'm so young, doesn't matter. When innocence comes, when you're just like, I don't know how we're going to deal with this, new possibilities arise, are born. They're born every moment, but you recognize them. You can embrace them. The innocent can see that. The guilty are too caught up in either disguising their guilt or beating themselves up for being guilty, to notice the possibilities that are there. So develop that quality of Well, today's a new day. Who knows what's possible? And let it reveal new and chaos makes new possibilities abundant. And lastly, forgiveness allows you to be in the right place at the right time. This blew me out. Just personally, it blew me out. Forgiveness allows you to be in the right. I love, because of my design, you know, I've got this channel about flowing in the rhythm, you know, and being in the right place at the right time is a real turn on for me, because I'm designed to do it. You know, like the rhythm guitar in a rock band, it's just keeping the whole thing flowing. You take that out, no, the lead guitar gets all the attention. You take the rhythm out, you take the beat out with the drums and that, and all of a sudden it's just, you know, it can be a good performance, but if you're going to do the whole band, really turn the whole crowd on, you need those fundamentals going on behind the scene. And being in the right place, getting your timing right, and being in the right place for you at the right time. It's not something you have to find and get. It's something you create by forgiving yourself. Forgiveness sets you free. Denial imprisons you, but forgiveness sets you free. And in chaos, you want to be as free as you can be to respond, to react, to relate to whatever's going on. So when you make mistakes, which we're far more likely to do in chaos, when other people make mistakes, when other people, you don't approve of them, doesn't mean you have to approve of them. Forgiveness isn't about approval. It's putting forth that you let this go. I've understood it. I've got clarity. I've owned it, recognized it, acknowledged it, owned it, and then forgive so that I can change. It's an incredibly, you know, the word is out there, the dictionary definition's out there, but your experience of that is what empowers you. When you experience these qualities within yourself, you know, innocence, joy, hope, wonder, imagination, mystery, magic, beauty, creativity, when you experience those, it just gives you so much power. And chaos is often associated with feminine energy, which is the source of all power. So the two of them, power and chaos. Chaos is often very powerful in its effects because it's bringing change quickly. And we're in the midst of massive change right at this year, next year, year beyond. We'll get more used to it, and then the 20 years beyond that. So these skills, tapping into what I've been talking about, making them your own, not asking, you can ask me for my experience and my definitions, I'm happy to share them. But you've got to when you make it your own, you become someone who thrives in chaos, who people look to, the people you care about. Doesn't matter whether the whole of Facebook loves you or not. It's the people you care about, the people close to you that you love, that you can make a difference in their life. And that can expand right out globally. But it starts with doing that for yourself, extending it to those you love. And if it really demonstrates itself there, it can authentically go out, and rather than provide distraction or addiction to people like so much of the media does. There are parts of the media that provide incredible instruction and inspiration. That can be your destiny, your contribution, what you bring to the table. So I hope that helps. And as I said, subscribe down below, and you'll discover what unfolds over the next couple of weeks and months and this year, because I'm really planning to take this and refine it into something so real and practical, but so much more substance than a lot of what is out there. You know, for the short and sweet, you know, how to do this acupuncture point and open up your pineal gland, great, there are people out there doing it. But for really understanding the magic and the beauty, the creativity, you know, how incredible life is, you know, the hope that's there, the joy that's there, that you can be innocent and be unbelievably creative and unbelievably successful, because you're always looking for new possibilities. You're always open. That's the thing. You're always open to new possibilities. And that being at the right place at the right time means not get stuck somewhere else in the future or the past because you haven't got the ability to let go of it, because you can't forgive or celebrate. If it was a really great thing you can't let go of, celebrate it so that you can, and make chaos an incredible asset in your life, not a liability. And take advantage of these incredible times, because there's never been a better time in life to appreciate what life truly has to offer and what human beings are truly capable of being, far more than what we've done in the past. Far more. And we're here to plant the seeds of that for the rest of humanity. So enjoy yourself, and I'll talk to you again soon.